In that scene, Dom played the judge, Sinifro played Madame Defarge, Billiac played Dr. Manette, and Derrida played Darnay. The scene really showed how the judge was merciless and did not show any fairness in the trial.
Public prosecutor announces to the tribunal that the prisoner Charles Saint-Evremond, called Darnay, has been denounced.
Yay!
He's been denounced by 3 voices. They are Ernest Defarge, Therese Defarge, and Alexander Manette.
No! Ding, 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 ding!
Judge, what the public prosecutor has stated is impossible. I've never denounced the prisoner. Never.
I call upon Madame Defarge to speak to this tribunal.
Patriots, listen to me. I have something to read to you. I have in my hands a diary in the handwriting of our good Dr. Manette. He wrote this diary from the moment he was put into prison. And do you know why he was in prison? For trying to save the life of a dying woman.
What?
Yes, a woman who had been abused by Monsieur Evremond, uncle of the prisoner. This woman died from the injuries she received at the hands of Evremond. The good doctor could not save her, but for reporting her death to authorities, and for that alone he was thrown into prison by Evremond. Thrown into prison to rot.
Death!
Listen to me. The words of Dr. Manette. And so the Evremonds and their descendants too, the last of their race. I, Alexander Manette.
In the second scene, you see Sidney Carton, the judge, and Jarvis having a conversation in which they discuss the terms about Sidney's plan to get the Manettes and Darnay out of the city.
Charles Saint-Evremond, enemy of the Republic, death. Death in 24 hours. Any last words?
I didn't know the actions of my uncle. I'm sorry.
I know.
Forgive me.
Let us not seem to forgive.
May God protect Lucy.
Let's go.
Oh, this is just terrible. How can they do this to me? The man who I love the most is going to be sentenced to death in less than 24 hours. He has done no harm to anyone, and yet the revolutionaries still intend to kill him. I hate all of them with all my heart. They are so hypocritical. They once said revolution, freedom, and once they got what they desired, they made the country even worse. They are killing many innocent people without any proof or because they just want to. As in my husband's case, Madame Defarge is the one who I hate most of all. How she believes that since my love family committed atrocities on hers, that it gives her the right to punish him for it. She will pay for evil deeds the day she is dead, and she will rot eternally in hell. There would have been a miracle for my love to be saved, as he is heavily guarded in prison. Hopefully my prayers to God will be answered, and this will just be over, and we will all live happily ever after. Please God, save us from the evil and lead us back to England, where we will be safe from all these terrors and horrors of what France has become. Amen.
The horrific events that have occurred today are indeed unjust. How can a man be sentenced to death for the actions of his father and uncle? He also showed the desire to be separated from his family name, and that he resembled nothing of their terrible deeds. I thought that since there was a successful revolt against the tyranny of King Louis, there would be a better government and no more injustice. Sadly, it hasn't progressed, but rather regressed from the tyrannical government to one where no one is safe from death. Maybe one day there will be a France where one can live free of tyranny and fear of death. It is in these times that I sometimes wish I were still that miserable old lawyer back in London with Mr. Stryver. But I cannot turn back now, and I must go on with my plan.
The third scene described how Sidney Carton, played by Derrida, has a soliloquy in which he shows his anger towards France, and also that he's not sure about how the plan will work, but must go on with it.
Who's there?
It is I, Carton. I must speak to you. It's urgent.
Just wants it down. Oh, Sidney, I'm afraid the shock. His mind is gone again. Oh, our only hope is lost.
I must hold an offer to you, sir. This is the certificate that enabled me to pass out of the city. Sidney Carton, Englishman. Keep it here for me until tomorrow.
But why?
Because I would rather not have it with me when I visit Charles in prison. But sure, you have to have a doctor's certificate, Lucy's, and the little one. You'll have to pass the barrier of the city.
Sure you don't think they're in danger.
No one in the house of St. Evremond is safe. Not anymore. Their certificates can be recalled. Don't look so horrified, Mr. Lorry. You have the chance to save them.
But how?
Get coach and horses early tomorrow morning so that they may be ready by 2 in the afternoon. Arrange it as soon as possible.
Shall be done.
Tell Lucy of the great danger she must leave Paris immediately.
I will.
Have the coach standing by the moment I take me in and drive away.
And then for England?
For England, promise me solemnly, and nothing will alter the course on which we now stand, pledged to one another.
Nothing.
You know, Mr. Lorry, when we first met, I looked upon you with contempt.
Yes, I dare say I wasn't quite fond of you either.
I'll take the old gentleman home. Tell me, if you can look back and say, I have done nothing good at all. I secured no one's love, affection, or even regard, but none of you, after all these years of mine have been wasted.
Why do you speak of such things? You're still young.
True, but my young way was never the way to age. Doctor, we are leaving now. Come, let me help you. Thank you, Mr. Lorry. You're a kind and good man. I envy you, but I can't be like you.
Dr. Manette, who is in the background, has been shocked by what has gone on, and is back in his state of mental destruction, or in one in which he is back making shoes to keep him at ease.
This is all so much information to take in. I was just taking care of Dr. Manette moments ago, and now I am responsible for him and his family's passage out of Paris. How this will all work out is beyond me. However, Mr. Carton's plan seems well thought out, and he had a look of great confidence when he told me it. I most fear for Mr. Carton. When I first met him, he was nothing but a miserable person who had no hope in his life. Now, he has changed to become a man who is respectable and whose life now has meaning. I fear, because at the end of our conversation, Mr. Carton was desperate and wondering about life. I hope that the plan he has put forward will work and will bring him the joy and happiness he wants in his life. I also hope that we can make it back to England safely and happily, but I am not completely certain that I will be able to accomplish such a big task. May God have mercy on us all.
Jarvis Lorry has a soliloquy in which he talks about how the plan put on him by Sidney Carton is insane, and he doesn't feel it will work. He also ponders whether Carton is at ease and if the plan he has put forward will bring him happiness. He ends saying that he has to go with the plan regardless, and may God have mercy on us all.